Evening PooTube, hope everyone's good. So obviously I've put out some videos today. Now if Danny Roscoe wants to have a discussion or whatever and point out to me, bear in mind he said as of today, earlier on this afternoon, that Shield was a grift, they're just grifters, blah blah blah. It'd be good of him to be able to actually have a discussion and point out, you know, show us all, highlight it all, make me look silly or whatever, show us where the scam is, show us what's the grift or whatever. Now, I'm pretty sure Danny Roscoe will not want to do that. After seeing the discussion, so-called debate with Paul Thorpe or whatever, bear in mind Paul Thorpe's brand new out the box, and how did that end realistically? I think Paul Thorpe was very gentlemanly by not slapping Danny around the internet or whatever, because everything that he built his stance on or whatever soon sort of got ripped down, didn't it? Now Paul could have absolutely obliterated him with all that. It's not exactly hard realistically with the substance and the stance that Danny took. Now from what I can see, Danny took all that from Jupiter's seeds or whatever that she put down for months and months and months before or whatever. Now for Paul to highlight Danny in a bad light or whatever, all he would have to do realistically is examine the people around Danny, mainly Jupiter, examine the fact that Danny is actually inviting Jupiter and all the wonkiness that comes with her, the vile trolls, Esau and bleeding that Jupiter enrolled and Danny's fully aware of. When you stand back and examine all that, realistically, it would be light work for Paul to put a bad light on Danny. It doesn't look good. You can look through any window you want and it doesn't look good. Now, I've tried to sort of get Danny to realise allowing this hope not hate bullshit into other people's communities would be morally bankrupt. But obviously Danny knows better or whatever. Now that's fine if that's his choice or whatever, that's his choice, but you know, that's not going to stop people pointing out the obvious flaws with that scenario, that situation, and rightly so. Do you know what I mean? Rightly so. Now, like I say, I'm happy to have the discussion. I would love Danny Roscoe to point myself and all of you good people which may be contemplating whether to get behind something like Shield. Show us where it's a scam. Show us where the grift is. Because it's very easy to just point fingers, but we can point them same fingers back. We've heard all sorts of shit. The fact that you've included a Muslim into Shield, blah blah blah. Well, has Tommy himself not said that we need to include Muslims into that movement? Has Tommy not got Muslims around him in the movement? See, I'm not a big fan of double standards. It seems to me, like I said initially, that it's a fight over followers, supporters. Now, anyone around Shield and whatever, it's a one-off payment, 25 quid. If you want to go a bit deeper or whatever, to having a DBS check and all that sort of thing, I think it's 55 or whatever. So neither here nor there, that's a one-time thing or whatever. Now, as Bob said on Ghost, sat there on Ghost panel with clown world. Tommy's always begging for money. Not my words, Bab's words. Tommy's always begging for money. She'd had 2 emails in the last month begging for money. So it's a bit rich, realistically, to be pointing your finger and saying grift with no substance. I know you've got no substance, Danny. I know that, because unlike you, I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm very good at pulling these fucking scams apart or whatever. I know what to look for. I know what to fucking... I know how to deal with these things or whatever. Now, it's mad to be able to just point the finger and say, oh, grifters. Not being funny, but where are you trying to head to realistically? I think we're only moments away before, oh, everyone support Danny. Some political bullshit, which we all know is going to go nowhere. Just like the Anne-Marie Waters shit that Tommy sent people towards. Oh, everyone pay Anne-Marie Waters £30. Wake Up UK is going to be collecting the data. Now, when you know that Wake Up UK has already been giving people's personal data to third-party trolls, would we want that to happen again? That's why I had a problem with Tom Zero. He knew full well. He warned Danny Simpson. Danny Simpson spoke out, and Tom Zero was easily manipulated, locked out of his own site by Wake Up UK, and then folded like a cheap deck chair because he'd been locked out of his own site with 13,000 followers. Now, these are all facts. These have already been presented. People have acknowledged that these things have gone on. It is what it is. So why would we carry on with that same recipe that just ends up bringing the same situation back to the table? For me, it's not very hard to figure out. There's problems, there's real problems, and they don't want to be addressed. They don't want to clean the situation up, and that's all I've been doing for the last 3 years or whatever, more maybe. 3 years since I left, probably a year before that, when I've spotted all these fucking problems resurfacing. Now, yeah, it is what it is. People are going to make their own decisions. I think the Rude Awakening channel, I'm going to be starting doing a live. I'm not going to promise that I can do one a week like I used to do or whatever. If I can, then I will. If I can't, then I can't. YouTube is not my fucking life or whatever, but I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot that could be gone over and save people problems further down the line, etc. It will only be about building things up, connecting things, bridge work, etc. Not tearing anything down, connecting good people to good groups, etc., etc. Discussions of worth with people that are worth having them with. Yeah, it won't be everyone's flavour, probably not. A lot of people are just around these things for drama, etc. Now that's fine, you know, everyone's got their own interests or whatever. So I think that's about it realistically. Oh yeah, I've had quite a few videos attacked, 8 up to now, been removed and whatever. Keep doing whatever you want, it's not a problem. I mean, I'm just documenting where the videos have been attacked, the titles of the videos, and then I've obviously got hard copies of the videos, so for all the ones that you want taken down, I'm just going to keep republishing. How about that? Now, I can pop up on any channel. I could put a channel out today. People that will be receptive to the information will quite happily fucking premium or whatever. They will take the bits they want out, they will use them. It is what it is. To me, the truth, the facts and the evidence, it don't care about your feelings. Now, I'm in a good position where, you know, I've said from day one, I don't represent any. I'm not joined, I'm not connected to any of these communities or whatever, these damp little corners on YouTube or whatever. Some people have moved forward and evolved from what they was to something else. Channels like Luke's and whatever. Dave's got a thriving channel. I don't know. I think that's it. You can't pull loads of good out of a pile of shit, to be fair, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, for me it's all about now, my efforts, my time, etc. will be put into things of worth, things that are going to prevent further problems unfolding on our streets, things that will make our environment a safer place for the women, for the children. It is that simple. Now, yeah, it is what it is. For the people that decide to stay around that wonky situation and whatever, with Jupiter stabbing everyone in the back every few days, every few weeks, and then play musical chairs and end up sat back with him, that's up to them. You know, if you want to stay on that mad merry-go-round, then do that, by all means, or whatever. I just think at this present moment in time, we, or some of us, have to move forward to solutions, resolve, prevention, and I think that's a good thing, to be honest. To me, it serves very little just all connecting to one group that's just doing one thing that's been continuing for fucking 16 years plus, that's not actually achieving anything. It's just lining the pockets of people left, right and centre. The only people that connect to these things now, the main intention seems to be, how can I make money out of this movement? Now, for me, that's a no-go. I've always been against all that or whatever. Especially when you're providing nothing. Do you know what I mean? Now, when people have put a group together like Shield, and it does literally serve the general public for free or whatever, the only people that are paying are the members that are actually willing to put themselves on the line and be that presence. So again, Danny Roscoe, where's the grift? Where is the scam that you and Jupiter seem to think exists? Bear in mind, the attacks that he came out with, that he started with, came out well before Ali Pops arrived or whatever. Like I said, I've seen this back and forth, people fighting for numbers and supporters between Team Tommy and Britain First back in the day. Now, yeah, there has been more unity built that side of things as of the last couple of years or whatever. That's good, but do you know what I mean? Anybody real, anybody decent, realistically, would be behind Shield. Yeah, be questionable, question things, check if it's a scam or whatever. I'm very good at what I do. If it was a scam, I wouldn't have put my fucking name on it. It's as simple as that. Now, I've checked it all out. I kept telling people it's not a scam. You're saying it's a charity. It's not a charity either. You're just coming out with propaganda. Where are you getting the propaganda from? Now, there's so many double standards and like-for-like comparisons of the people that are pointing fingers. It's so easy to just go, yeah, you said this, but look at that, look at this, look at that, that you're all doing yourselves or whatever. The only difference is you're not giving anybody anything. You're certainly not fucking making the environment safer for women and children. You're just waking people up and charging people for the fucking pleasure of doing so. Now, that can only take so far. I've put so many fucking years into it. I can see that it's not really yielding any results other than waking people up to no plan, no solution, no resolve. Just keep voting for what? Political parties that you're putting together that are not worth a wank, that are not going to stand against well-established parties. And even if you could, and you could actually gain unity between yourselves, stop being selfish and attacking other people and whatever, and get that unity, it still wouldn't achieve nothing. Now, people like Nick's here are aware of that. She's obviously done a lot of homework. And there's a lot of people around these communities that agree with me and agree with Nixa that these these political solutions are not solutions. They do not help anybody. They're not going to achieve anything. So all that's realistically going to happen is you're just going to get fleeced. Every time they come up with a new concept of this party, that party, all these other fucking parties, you're just going to keep getting, oh, you know, you all need to follow this. I'll give this person £30. Some wanker that is literally not able to fucking, you wouldn't trust to run a bath, is running the data collection of all that, and he's giving the data to third party trolls of the left. So if you want to carry on running with that, by all means, you do that, and I'll be doing something productive. It is that simple. Now, I've even had Babs on comments today or whatever. Oh, we was all glad when he was leaving, blah blah blah. Well, you should have just said nothing, done nothing, and let me go my own direction. The fact that you've all like pulled fucking ranks and decided you're gonna try and make it shit when you know fuck all about it or whatever, pointing your dirty ass fingers to things you know nothing about and make out it's a scam, it's a grift, this, that and the other. Well, you've literally gained my attention, haven't you? So now I'm going to hold the mirror up to every single thing that you've said and done and show you a like for like comparison. It is that simple. Now, if you don't like that, maybe you should have fucking had a little foresight into how I might react to your bullshit claims. It is that simple. It may well work out that you are your own worst enemies. So I'm going to leave it there. Hope everyone's having a good day. Enjoy, look after each other, and stay safe.